And a failed jail escape attempt caught on camera. And scary moments when a paraglider finds himself tangled in power lines. We begin tonight on how no parent wants to hear that their child is being bullied at school. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jeremiah Marshall. Drew Spire has the night off. A local biker group is standing up against this issue. Take a look.
I mean, we got to try to make a change, man, you know? We got to keep our kids safe, bottom line.
Brian Gomez with the Calaveras say many lives can be affected by bullying. He was made aware of a recent incident at Martin Middle School, and he said enough was enough.
Our biggest objective and goal was to show up and pick them up from school.
Young Jaden was being bullied at school, so Gomez, along with 40 other bikers, went to the campus, waited for young Jaden so they can escort him home safely, showing that Jaden does not stand alone.
What kind of policies do they have in place to make sure that when we drop off our kids here at school that they're safe?
The biker group says these questions weren't answered by administration.
For me, these parents here, the kids that are getting bullied, these parents are on their own. They got their mom and their dad. Some of them are single parents. Some of them just got their mom or their dad. They're fighting this alone, right? My organization has over 1,000 members. Yeah. So, you know what? My message out to the school district is, if you don't want 80 bikes sitting in the front of your school every Friday or every day, then you guys need to do something about it.
And they also encourage other parents to help raise awareness.
And you know what? And the thing is, it's not even just to help the kids that are being bullied. What people need to understand is some of these kids that are the bullies need help as well, because kids don't just want to come to school and hurt people. When kids are acting out in a way like that, it's because they're seeing the same similar things at home.
We did reach out to the school administration along with the district, and we have not heard a response. A family is mourning after their 2-year-old died falling into a septic tank. It happened last night at the Paradise Lagoons RV Park in Rockport. According to Rockport Volunteer Fire Department, family and neighbors desperately tried to rescue Carly Nicole Nelson, who was about 15 feet below the ground in the septic tank. An Ingleside Fire and Rescue Team member had to be lowered to retrieve her body. Visitors at the RV park heartbroken.
It's a tragedy, you know, and you know, I watched the family. I was out there barbecuing the night before and watched them go over to fish, and so it's a little, it is a terrible deal. And
oh my God, my heart's with them. I pray for them. Just unimaginable to try to even think about losing a child that way and what they're going through.
Park residents say the girl was walking on the lid of the tank, which was not secured. It fastened and it buckled under her. The family says they are concentrating on getting back home to Alabama. A man who had dropped off his child at school was stabbed and robbed. Police say the man was walking home when 4 Hispanic men jumped him on Naylor Circle and Driscoll Drive. One of the men had a knife, another a machete. The victim was stabbed in the back and cut on the head with the machete. Attackers also took his cell phone. The victim was managed to get home a few blocks away and call police. No arrests have been made. And arrests have been made in this stabbing, which escalated from a family argument. 34-year-old Guadalupe de Santos Luna and 34-year-old David Lorenzo were arrested in connection with the stabbing and assault. The incident happened on Niagara Street near Port. Early yesterday morning, when officers arrived at the home, they found 19-year-old stabbed and a woman unconscious. Both victims were taken to the hospital but are expected to be okay. Luna is charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Lorenzo is charged with evading. And a great escape going terribly wrong. Here, security video captured a female inmate at an Ohio jail falling through the ceiling. 42-year-old Jessica Boomshire tried to make a getaway. She used a chair to climb up into the ceiling, but the ceiling caved in, leaving Boomshire dangling in the air. An officer then pulled her to the ground. She was already facing charges for kidnapping and assaulting an elderly man, but now she's also charged with escaping and vandalism. A paraglider got stuck in power lines. Take a look at this. Hanging by his harness atop a power pole, emergency crews worked to save this man after he crashed into power lines while paragliding in Northern California yesterday. The paraglider got tangled while trying to land at a nearby airport. He was doing training exercise with an instructor when something went wrong. Once he was stuck, firefighters told him to stay still.
Letting him know to stay in contact with the aircraft, not to try to reach out, touch us, or move around as much so that the aircraft stayed still.
The rescue took about 3 hours. Power lines had to be de-energized so no one would get electrocuted. In the end, crews were finally able to cut him free. Well, coming up on Action 10 News at 10, it's unknown when the new Harbor Bridge will be complete. Hear from the latest from TxDOT next.
Roger Stone is sentenced to 40 months in prison. I'm Skyler Henry at the federal courthouse in Washington as President Trump says he won't interfere for now.
Welcome back. Roger Stone has been sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison, but it's unclear if he will do time. Watch.
Roger Stone stepped out of the courthouse Thursday, all smiles. But inside, the political operative and longtime advisor to President Trump had no reaction as Judge Amy Berman Jackson sentenced him to 40 months behind bars. Over the 2.5-hour sentencing, Jackson scolded Stone for covering up for the president and told him the truth still matters. Stone was convicted by a jury in November on 7 felony charges of obstruction, lying to Congress, and witness tampering, all stemming from Robert Mueller's investigation into 2016 election interference. Judge Jackson is holding off on executing Stone's sentence while she considers his motion for a new trial. But if President Trump uses his pardon power, it's unclear if that'll even be necessary. The president told an audience of ex-convicts in Colorado they would understand better than anyone that Roger Stone deserves a second chance.
I'm following this very closely, and I want to see it play out to its fullest because Roger has a very good chance of exoneration, in my opinion.
40 months is far less than the 7 to 9 years originally recommended by the Justice Department. Attorney General William Barr stepped in, ordering a less harsh sentence shortly after President Trump tweeted his dissatisfaction with the sentence recommendation. All of the prosecutors on the case then quit, and Barr said in an interview that the president's tweets make it impossible for him to do his job. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Still ahead on Action 10 News at 10, every vote counts. A local man is making sure everyone has a ride to polling sites. You'll meet him next. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray for a quick look at the forecast. Sharon, it's cold outside.
It is, but you know it's drying out, Jeremiah. We are starting to see that drizzle ending, and we'll see sunshine tomorrow, but it's still going to be chilly. I'll have your forecast coming up.
Now, Action 10 Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray with your Doppler 10 weather forecast.
Well, it certainly has felt like winter the past couple of days, but we do have some changes on the way. Although tonight we're still going to be in that cold air, and it'll be breezy too, giving us wind chills in the 30s by morning. Now we are looking at a warming pattern the next few days and mainly dry, but next week there's another cold front coming down, and we're going to cool right back down by next Wednesday. But we right now have drier air working its way in. These are the dew points, and you see how the numbers drop off here into the 30s. That's some very dry air, and it's working its way into the coastal bend as our northerly winds are carrying that cool, dry air. And as a result, the cloud bases have lifted. We're getting better visibility outside, and the drizzle has ended. So now we're seeing that drier air that's going to allow those clouds to break up even more, and we'll see some sun tomorrow. However, it's still quite chilly. Temperatures right now are in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees, and the wind continues to blow from the north. It's a cold wind. I'm sure you noticed that today. And we have those north winds still at 25 miles an hour at the Naval Air Station, 15 at Ingleside. And because the winds are going to continue to be gusty along the coast, there was a wind advisory. It looks like they just discontinued that. I looked about 20 minutes ago and it was still there. So no more wind advisory until 6 in the morning, but it's still going to be breezy tonight, and we're going to have wind chill readings, meaning it'll make it feel cooler if you're out in that wind at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can see we see those wind chill readings. What it feels like in the 30s and 40s. And many of you that were out today know that wind certainly had a bite to it. The winds are actually going to start dying down tomorrow afternoon. It's still going to be breezy in the morning, and then by afternoon we're looking at those winds coming down, and temperatures will warm. So for tonight, it's going to get chilly by morning. These are the forecast lows, with temperatures dipping close to 40 in our northwest counties, even 39 possible for a low in George West, a 44 at Corpus Christi. So you're going to have a cold start to your day tomorrow. An hourly look at your Friday. The week has ended almost, and it's going to start improving weather-wise. We are going to see those temperatures starting off cold in the morning and reaching in the upper 50s to near 60 tomorrow afternoon. Still cold. Keep the jacket with you tomorrow. You'll need it. And the wind speeds, notice they're still up about 18 miles an hour in the morning, and they come down, so that wind will start to improve. It'll slow down a bit. And not only that, but we'll have increasing sunshine. So it looks like a good Friday, although still on the cool side. These are the forecast highs, as I mentioned, 50s to near 60 degrees. All right, if you're planning your weekend, the temperatures are going to be warming, although it's still going to be a little on the cool side Saturday, staying in the low to mid 60s for highs after a chilly morning at 43. But we'll have some sunshine and a few clouds, and that east breeze switching to the southeast and to the south by Sunday, warming temperatures up. Sunday's the warmer day of the weekend, but it's going to be on the windy side, and we'll have more cloud cover. Take your pick, though. The weekend is looking a little bit better to get outdoors than what we saw the past couple of days. So right now, we've got that chilly air continuing to move in, drying out the air, though, and it will take care of those clouds, starting to erode those clouds by tomorrow morning as high pressure continues to build. As this shifts to the east, the winds will change direction, and we all know that makes a big difference in our temperatures here in South Texas. It's going to start warming us up. So for tonight, the north winds, the rain ending, bringing in that drier air. Tomorrow, still cool, but as the wind shifts to the southeast, but for the weekend, we have that warming trend, although the winds are going to pick up Sunday. We could have gusts up to 30 miles an hour Sunday, and then you can see that next cold front. That brings a slight chance of rain Monday, and there's a second front behind that. That brings even cooler air in. That's the one that we're really going to notice next Tuesday afternoon. It's going to cool us down a lot. So in the next 7 days, it's fairly dry, breezy by Sunday, a warming trend next week, a spot shower chance Monday morning, and there's the big cool down for Wednesday.
All right, Sharon, thank you so much. The completion date for the New Harbor Bridge is unknown. According to TxDOT, after reviewing investigation, it thinks the collapse of the Florida bridge 2 years ago, who Fig Bridge Engineers designed, was the firm's fault. The company was set to build the cable-supported section of the New Harbor Bridge over the ship channel. TxDOT said today bridge developers are trying to find a new design firm for the section, leading to potential delays.
Now, in my opinion, absolutely there's going to be a delay. I don't think we should beat around the bush. There's going to be a delay.
We've already been told initially that we're 2 years behind if everything was going as planned. So this could have a serious impact in terms of a time.
And turns out the same person assigned to be the engineer of record for the project was assigned to the same position for the New Harbor Bridge. Hunter and city leaders want to meet with TxDOT to get a new construction timeline. Texas Department of Criminal Justice announced today it's closing the Garza East Prison unit in Beeville. Another prison in Sugar Land near Houston will also be closed in the next few months. The move is expected to save the state about $20 million a year. All the employees at the Beeville unit will be offered jobs nearby prisons. Inmates will be relocated to various prisons around the state. And a benefit was held for the family of the woman who was killed in a wrong-way head-on collision crash over the weekend. Brisket plates were sold over the dog house near Castores and Foley Drive. Hundreds of people were there. 500 plates were sold during the first hour to help the family of Amy Hinojosa. She was killed when her vehicle was struck by a wrong-way driver, and the Hinojosa family says they were grateful for all the support.
I just want to thank everybody that came. It shows how much my sister was truly loved and how much everybody is supporting her children.
The driver who hit Hinojosa, identified as 45-year-old Ricardo Zuniga from Rockwall, Texas. Police say they did find alcohol inside his truck at the time of the crash. And another benefit is scheduled for this Saturday. For more details, make sure you head to our website at KZTV10.com. An Army veteran is making sure fellow veterans, seniors, and the disabled have a ride to voting polls. Here's our Krista Dominguez, who introduces us to Ron Taylor Smith.
When you first meet Ron Taylor Smith, one of the first things you'll hear him say is,
"America's the best country in the world."
As a draftee in the 60s, he served 31 years in the U.S. Army. And after spending time across 49 countries, he said now is the time for him to directly serve his community.
So I feel like we must have a group of Americans to go out and help everyone get to the polls regardless of their political affiliation.
When early voting began Tuesday, Smith said he was ready to burn gas so long as he can take seniors, veterans, and the disabled to the polls.
Our seniors, our veterans, our anybody that's disabled or anyone that doesn't have transportation, let's get them to the polls to vote.
And that's exactly what he's been doing. On a cold and soggy Thursday morning, he started up his Buick and headed for Patricia Meredith's home.
And being blind is no excuse not to do it. Being elderly is no excuse not to do it. But we need someone like Ron that can bring us to the poll.
Since early voting began 2 days ago, Smith has given a ride to almost a dozen people.
I do what I do because I love this country.
If you love other people, you want to help other people. It's important. That's what's great about Ron. He thinks of others before he thinks of himself. I know, I've seen it many times.
Smith, a gentle and humble man with a servant's heart, chalks it up to Jesus.
I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that Jesus would be taking someone to the polls to vote.
Crystal Dominguez, Action 10 News.
How awesome is that? Well, just ahead on Action 10 News at 10, perfect stickers were handed out today, plus who inspectors say needed to clean it up. Kitchen Cops is next. And we meet the new announcer for the Corpus Christi Hooks when we come back.
Wow! AutoNation's Weekend of Wow has been extended. Take 10, 20, 30.